Travis Smiley Show has rapidly expanded its national syndication to now include nearly 50 radio stations across the country and counting. Congratulations, Travis.
Yeah, yeah.
Here come the hot stepper. I'm the lyrical gangster. Big up the crew in the area. Still have it like that. No, no, we don't die. Yes, we multiply. Anyone press will hear the fat lady sing. Act like you know Rico. I know what Bo don't know. Touch them up and go. Oh, cha-cha-ching, ching. Here come the hot stepper. I'm the lyrical gangster. Excuse me, Mr. Officer. Still have it like that. Extraordinary. Juice like a strawberry. Money to burn, baby, all of the time. Caught to fit, it's me. Fit to cut the shit. Come juggle with me. That's it every time.
Welcome in. Happy Thursday. And this Thursday, we have a purpose. We're stirring the pot with purpose today. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. And first up, it's Libra season. Shout out to Eni Kamosi. Here comes the hot stepper. It's had to be like, what, 92, 91, something like that? 95? It's 95? Okay. I thought it was earlier. Shout out to that. We had that moment, right, where, what is this called? It's not reggae. What is this style called? Music. Dancehall, yeah. Because, I mean, I feel like there's a difference between reggae and dancehall and da-da-da-da. Don't want to, be disrespectful of the culture, but I feel like in the early 90s, dancehall had a moment. It was like Super Cat with Dolly My Baby. We had Patra popping off. I Want a Romantic Call.
And see, I thought that was reggae.
Shabba. I thought it was dancehall. I might be misspeaking, but I feel like that is dancehall, and then reggae is more like Bob Marley, yeah. Like Would You Be Loved, I Shot the Sheriff jamming. Look, I love Bob Marley. I had a Bob Marley moment where I like deep dived and went and bought all of his music and stuff. Like, this is.
Oh, I thought you had another 90s. Bob Marley moment.
What do you mean? Oh.
Yeah.
Hilarious. No, I was talking about my deep dive into his music and his library and going down that path. But I think that somebody correct me if I'm wrong, and they will. But I believe dancehall and reggae, fruits from the same tree. Like hip-hop and rap are the same thing to most, but different to some as far as the art forms. So...
See, I thought dancehall kind of started popping off when, Sean Paul, so like late 90s, early 2000s. Dancehall, right?
Dancehall,
because
yeah.
that's what it was called. It was called dancehall.
Right.
Although
I feel
some
like
people thought it was reggae music.
A little before that, I think like Super Cat, Dolly My, because even I hate to bring this person's name up. Puff did the remix of Dolly My Baby that was big. You had Patra out at that time, Shabba Ranks, a couple of other things. And then the second wave of that, I feel like, was Beanie Man, and then later Sean Paul, which was more hip-hop. And then that's when they tried to sneak the reggaeton in there, But yeah, so shout out to all of that. All right, tonight we are getting into... Listen, there's a Black woman, and she has a GoFundMe for a project that she is working on. She was unemployed, trying to find a job utilizing LinkedIn like a lot of people do, and was having a hard time. So she decided to do an experiment. She changed her first name, location, and put up a photo of a white woman. And her results are quite interesting. So we'll get into that and her quest to turn this into a documentary and what happened. We're also, we like a good list to debate. And Rolling Stone has just dropped their list of the 250 most impactful songs of the 21st century. And we're going to tell you what number one is. It's a hip hop song. Oh, by the way, it's a black woman. So we'll get into that. And Sherri Shepherd, she is telling young women, listen up, ladies. There is a time when, and that time is now apparently, you need to bypass the potential and date for the man for where he's at. So we're going to get into that. And Drake caught another legal L. But before we get into all of that, a couple of little things to drop on you, conversation starters. First up, congratulations to Arsenio Hall. He announced that his memoir, Arsenio, is going to be dropping April 7th of 2026. He said he's excited. He's finally an author. Shout out to Charlemagne the God, because I believe it is on Charlemagne's imprint on Simon & Schuster. So Charlemagne quietly is putting people on, quietly and not so quietly, in various ways. So let's look out for that. And Halle Bailey has announced she is dropping her first album, Love or Something Like It, on October 24th. She dropped the receipts on Instagram, and it's a story of first love, heartbreak, and everything that comes after. And she said, this one means everything to me. So we will see what her debut is like, because y'all haven't been nice to Chloe with her debut. And I appreciated the music of it, but conversation for another day. When we come forward, we're going to get into all of these trending topics and headlines. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Are you ready for the hottest entertainment scoop in Los Angeles? She's bringing you exclusive interviews with today's biggest stars, behind the scenes Hollywood insights, and all the entertainment news you need to know. She's breaking down what's trending, what's ending, and what's just beginning in the world of entertainment. You're riding with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind: to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my two sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-687-7979. That's 800-687-7979. 800-687-7979.
Hello, KBLA delegation. Tavis Smiley here. On Saturday, October 25th, LA Trade Tech becomes the epicenter of ideas that matter. The Left Coast Forum is bringing together voices that challenge, inspire, and illuminate, with keynote presentations from people like noted economist Richard Wolff, the man who breaks down capitalism in ways that make sense to working folk like you and me, and Dr. Cornel West will be there, the brilliant philosopher and activist who never stops fighting for justice and speaking truth to power and to the powerless, for that matter. So this isn't just another conference. This is where ideas get tested, where the conversations that shape our future begin. Multiple plenary sessions, dynamic speakers, real talk about the issues that impact our communities, and then some good food and a live band. Saturday, October 25th, LA Trade Tech, Left Coast Forum. The event is free and open to the public, but you must register at our KBLA1580.com website, where you can also peep the plenary topics. The future belongs to those who show up and engage. So don't just think about change, be part of the conversation that creates it. The Left Coast Forum is brought to you by the LA Progressive, the Empowerment Congress, Community Coalition, Partnership for Growth LA, Southwest Voter Registration Education Project, LA Care Health Plan, United Teachers Los Angeles, Black Progressive Action Coalition, St. John's Community Health, the National Lawyers Guild, the Weingart Foundation, and more. Space is limited, so if I were you, I'd register right now at KBLA1580.com. Your voice matters, your presence matters. We'll see you there.
Now back to more entertainment news with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. So, you know how this goes down. 800-920-1580 if you want to call in and get in on the topics. 800-920-1580. Hit us up on social media, KBLA 1580. I'm at Stiletto Jill everywhere. You can download the app. We've been waiting for some of those little messages that you guys are going to drop. I know that you have commentary, add to it. And of course, if you want the visual to go along with this audio experience, hop in the YouTube chat. The chat is always chatting. And we love that about them. It's a whole community. It's a vibe. It is a thing. So I am not alone tonight breaking down these topics. Joining me are podcaster, producer, community activist, and more, Yolanda Davidson at The Biased Opinion on Instagram. Welcome in, Yolanda. How are you this evening?
I am absolutely marvelous.
Marvelous. So we're going to get into a couple of these things that are going on. First of all, this first one being, I think that this is really interesting. It doesn't really give us anything in the way of, oh, we're shocked and surprised. But it's always interesting when you can document these things. So a woman named Aliyah Jones, right? After months of being ghosted by potential employers on LinkedIn, right? She decided to run her own social experiment. And what she found says a lot about, as expected, race, privilege, and access when it comes to corporate America, especially in this current digital environment, right? Because one thing that you consider when we have so much access through LinkedIn and things of that nature, we can go look up recruiters or who's the VP or head of this and reach out to them. I know this sounds crazy, but they can see you. Literally, they can physically check out how you look. And as much as we don't like it, judgments are made from that instantly, right away. And so, I feel like it has added an additional layer to job search. But, I guess we'll have to see how this particular experiment turns out. This is what she says happened. She said that she's a marketing strategist from the DMV, and she changed her name and photo on LinkedIn to Emily Osborne. As I said, her name is Aliyah Jones. Is that what we consider a black-leaning name? I don't know, but one could think that. If you heard Emily Osborne, would you think that that was a black woman or a white woman? Probably a white woman, right? So she changed that. She found a generic photo and put that up on the profile. She utilized the social experiment for 8 months, right? As a result, Emily got callbacks and interest for jobs almost immediately. Same resume, same information, all of that. So for Jones, though, she would have problems even getting an interview, or when she would be told that her qualifications didn't necessarily fit the role and what they were looking for, right? She documented this right now. It's called Corporate Catfish, Being Black in Corporate America, right? Her Kickstarter, I said GoFundMe, my bad. I meant Kickstarter, for a full-length documentary has already raised over $6,000. And on Instagram, she said, sometimes it's pain we've normalized, stories we've silenced because we thought no one would listen to them. Now, she submitted herself in some instances for both positions, right, where her white counterpart, same qualifications, same jobs, would get the call and not her. It's not surprising. It's actually kind of heartbreaking that we still kind of go through that. But, I mean, gift and the curse of access and this free-all sort of society. She obviously doesn't have anything as far as in her social profile as Aliyah that could be negatively construed that would lead her not being, called up or brought in. So one can only deduce what it might be. So, Yolanda, what are your thoughts on this corporate catfish experiment?
There's so many layers to this situation. I mean, we know for a fact that people have left their positions because they accidentally found out that somebody white was making more money than them.
Mm-hmm.
And so right now we have over 300,000 black women who have lost their jobs from the government and from different sectors. We have the cancelization of DEI in a lot of corporate spaces. We have a lot of restructuring in a lot of corporate businesses where they don't necessarily, they don't have to do it. And it's kind of being pushed on them not to do it. And if they do, there'll be consequences if they do. So I think that corporations may be scared to hire black women.
You think there's a backlash against black women that's currently taking place, so to speak, in the workplace?
It seems like in corporate spaces, people who are in mid to high level positions, I definitely think that there's an issue. And black women don't do anything but work hard and climb the corporate ladder the best they can. And we know that there's glass ceilings. I mean, look at the presidential race. Someone who absolutely was not qualified is now flushing our country down the toilet, saying that he's gonna, it just doesn't matter. I don't want to get into that. But to stay on topic, I absolutely think that there seems to be some type of backlash against black women in the workplace. I know several people who are currently looking for positions and they can't find anything. And they're very capable people, and they cannot find a good job. And they maybe could find something that's 2 or 3 tiers lower than they were before, but they can't find
something comparable and
yes,
move ahead.
Absolutely.
Andy?
Project 2025.
I mean, enough said. It's like, here's the thing. This isn't about just catfishing. It's about proof. And Aliyah exposed what countless DEI panels won't. And can't admit, even though they say there's not a need for it, merit does not always beat melanin. And the experiment obviously hit a nerve because it made systematic bias personal, measurable, and undeniable. And it's something that we talk about often when we get the pushback. And by we, I'm not just saying black women, I'm saying us as a community overall, specifically us as black women. Our qualities, our assets are always downplayed. Not always, but you get what I'm saying. In these situations. And now we're in a position where we seem to be low key in the crosshairs, at least as far as, an easy to move piece that satisfies certain goals and check marks. But I often wonder too, is that because in a lot of ways we are heavily indexed in areas like HR, in areas like marketing, in areas of certain areas that are kind of the first to go, or in DEI period, things like that, HR and DEI, areas where though essential can easily kind of be mended over, not as in, a more tech forward position or financial in that, not taking away the importance at all, obviously, of a marketing background. But yes, I just wonder if that's a part of it as well.
Agree. I totally agree that when you see vice presidents that are black women, they tend to be in those type of positions. And I'm sure the majority of them could be in a higher position, but that's where they've been sit. They're sitting in that position. And now, like you said, that companies are cutting back, they're restructuring, they don't need those roles anymore. So those upward to $100,000 jobs don't exist anymore in the workplace, because if there's going to be Miss Osborne versus Miss Jones, Miss Osborne is going to get the look before Miss Jones is going to get the look, even if it's AI that's searching through the resumes and not a human.
I mean, the thing is this, like on its surface level, you could say, okay, it's name bias because of the data. We know the history that black sounding names receive 50% fewer callbacks in interviews. But the statistic also shows, right? Well, what it doesn't show, I should say, is what is the impact of now you can't apply for a job without a digital profile. Most of them require a photo attachment or, or something like that if it's not linked to LinkedIn or one of these services to, even if there's some type of link. They're asking for your social media contacts and things of that nature. It's an interesting situation when you think about the totality of it, because we obviously see things like this, but how often are you getting sifted out of the mix just based on the fact that you are a black woman, and what have you? You won't know. There's no real way to measure it really currently. Shout out to Morris Phillips in the chat who says black women are the most intelligent people in our society. We appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, because when you're at work and you have higher management that come to lower employees asking them questions that they should know. You know it every day at work. I mean, there's not too many people that I know that work in corporate spaces where they're undervalued or they're not using them to their full capacity. And somebody's taking credit for their ideals. It's just an ongoing situation, and it's been like that. And I think it's more acceptable now because of the climate that we have.
It is.
I mean, when the government, people think they have a government job, you figure, I'm going to coast this out for 30 years. Nobody gets hired from the government thinking I'm going to wake up after the government shutdown and my job's going to be eliminated.
Indeed. Well, listen, we'll put a pin in that. We'll see if Aliyah gets more funding, right? Storytelling, maybe Netflix or Hulu will come calling. We saw what happened with Risa Tisa last year, and we see that I guess a TV show has been picked up for her, a development deal for her story.
Who's Risa Tisa? I'm not familiar.
Risa Tisa was the woman that was on TikTok, and she shared the story of her relationship with the guy. And
I don't know her name.
Yeah, and so she got picked up by CAA, and she got booked in all of these things. And so there was several bidding processes, and I think a book is coming out first, and then from the book there's a TV show that is in development. So
I Married a Psycho or something like that, like part 2, part 3, part 100.
Yeah,
I remember that. I didn't know her name.
So, Andy?
A couple things. As new parents, right? Should you be concerned about what you name your child?
100%.
Okay. Number 2, sometimes I just feel like this is kind of like an alarm ringing to move towards entrepreneurship. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like we already know what the system is, dog. We know the system ain't rocking with us, but yet we still over here like low key begging, like, "Hey, let us in, man." I'm part of me, you know what I'm saying? I want to be like, "Yo, bump that!" Like, let's come together. And I understand we have our own internal issues. It's hard for us to even support each other, but I just feel like this should just be. I understand it sucks, but this should just make us vigilant to want us to like bump that. We don't need y'all. We can create our own corporations and be even more successful than y'all.
We can, but I think with that, there's a couple of things. One, I am very, very aware that not everyone is built for the entrepreneur life, right? And then, two, if we're all bosses, who's helping us build these entrepreneur lives, right? There has to be some checks and balances. And not everybody wants to eat, breathe, sleep. They're, building a business. That's not an easy road to, haul. Not saying that the opposite is any easier, but sometimes some people just want to go get a check and go home.
Well, then work for me in my business.
Right. But, there's all types of things. There's skills, there's training. I'm not saying, again, it's like that for anybody. But I think when we encourage entrepreneurship, which I'm a big fan of, and obviously I partake in, but I also recognize that that is not the road for everybody, and putting that as a burden on somebody who's not ready or doesn't feel that drive or doesn't have the skills to self-manage in that way, it's a lot of expectation, But I feel they could go to work for a black company, but that's a conversation in that too.
I agree with you 100%. I'm with you, but I also feel like these are times where we're talking about battles and wars and all. Like, this is a strategic way
You're right.
to fight, at least in my opinion. I get it. It might be difficult for you. You might not have the aptitude to want to do it, but you know what? I think you might just have to jump in the deep end.
Amen to that. Listen, when we come forward, we're going to get into more trending topics and headlines. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Touch them up and go. Oh, cha-cha-ching, ching. Here come the hot stepper. I'm the lyrical gangster. Big up the crew in the area. Still living like that.
You're in the know with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Tensions are rising between President Trump and Illinois leaders as the White House considers invoking the Insurrection Act to deploy troops in U.S. cities. Trump blasted Democratic Governor J.B. Pritzker and Chicago's Black Mayor Brandon Johnson for failing to protect ICE officers.
I've seen them all, and when you have a group of people where the police call off the safety for ICE officials, I've understood that, and I've read it today in numerous journals, that that's illegal.
Texas National Guard troops have already arrived in Chicago. Black House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries is slamming Congressman Mike Lawler, calling him a malignant clown and a total fraud after a heated Capitol hallway exchange over the Affordable Care Act. And a judge says Sean Diddy Combs cannot choose where he serves his 50-month sentence, but recommends placement near New York City in a substance abuse program. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Tough in Arcadia, east, make that west 210, leaving Santa Anita Avenue all the way to Fair Oaks in Pasadena. The eastbound side of the 210 slows from Fair Oaks in Pasadena all the way to Foothill Boulevard. And it's tough on the 60. This is eastbound in East LA. That's where traffic loads up, getting away from just about Dittman as you continue all the way to the 605. The 10 eastbound slows in City Terrace from City Terrace Drive. There's a crash just past the 710, and beyond, you're on the brakes all the way to Azusa.
Celebrating 100 years, Mount St. Mary's University LA is dedicated to moving your life and career forward. Earn your undergraduate or graduate degree and become unstoppable. Find out how at msmu.edu.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Former NBA player Reggie Theus, who grew up in Inglewood, is making a huge impact on the men's basketball program at HBCU Bethune-Cookman University. Bethune-Cookman, located in Daytona Beach, Florida, was picked by media members to win the SWAC championship this season. This is the first time the Bethune men's basketball program has been voted to win the title since the school joined the SWAC in 2018. Theus, who played 13 years in the NBA, is in his fourth season as Bethune's head coach. The Wildcats finished 13-5 last season, their best conference record since joining the SWAC. They lost to Jackson State in the SWAC semifinals. Theus is also the AD at Bethune. Since his arrival at Bethune in 2021, Theus has helped raise $3.3 million for the athletic department. Charles Barkley donated nearly $2 million toward that total. It's obvious that Theus' notoriety is about to take Bethune-Cookman to the next level. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Break out the champagne. Everybody get a glass.
Tavis Smiley is now ranked number 16 nationally and the highest rated talk show hosted by an African American on the 2025 Talkers Heavy 100 list of the most important talk radio hosts in the nation. Last year, Tavis ranked number 33, and the year before, number 45. The Tavis Smiley Show has rapidly expanded its national syndication to now include nearly 50 radio stations across the country and counting. Congratulations, Tavis.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone, and should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month.
If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cow Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
これからみんなでめちゃくちゃ踊って騒ごう騒ごう。
Y'all can't stop me now. Listen to me now. I'm lasting 20 rounds. And if you want me, then come on get me now. Is you with me now? Then biggie bounce. I know you dig the way I switch my style. Holla, holla. People sing around. Now people gather round. Now people jump around. Get your freak on. 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 Get your freak on.
Welcome in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. And you know, Andy is always on theme. Missy Elliott, that song in particular was named number 1, the top song of the 21st century. Right? The greatest song, I should say. Got to get the language right. I don't know exactly what that means, right? From what I saw on the video of one of the journalists, they said that when you hear that song, you immediately think future thinking, advanced. It's it sounds different. It breaks through whatever else it's playing. Generally speaking, 105 on that list was "Milkshake" by Khalees, and she went on to explain how she was transforming the industry with that song, and it didn't sound like anything on the radio. Not that any of her stuff did. Whatever. I'm going to tell you guys this, right? Because maybe I'm not. I will just say that sometimes, as innovative and forward-thinking as people can be and were in the moment, be reasonable. Now, picking Missy, that song is number one. Again, I'm unsure of what the criteria is. I'm not necessarily mad at it. I'm just curious. And I didn't do my homework for this one. But I just, kind of wanted to talk about it and get everyone's thoughts. Andy?
You know what? I don't even care about the criteria. I can accept this. Get Your Freak On. Definitely. I think the way you described it, the futuristic, different type of sound. I mean, I felt all races could rock with it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's more than just hip hop, I have no problem with this being the number one record for the 21st century. Unless you bring up another song. I mean, I can't think of any right now, either. But I think it's a good representation.
So we're 2 weeks, right, since Cardi B has dropped. Almost a week after Taylor Swift has dropped. Not that you guys care about that. So a couple of, weeks after Doja has dropped. Why doesn't music have stickiness anymore? Why don't we care about that? So, one, Yolanda, do you have any thoughts on Get Your Freak On being the number one, the greatest song of the 21st century? And then two, why do you feel it is that music doesn't seem to stick like it would with us in the past?
It doesn't stick because it's oversaturated and pretty much everything kind of sounds the same anyway. So you like it for a minute and then you're on to the next thing that sounds similar to it that you like. It's like familiar. So if Kendrick drops Not Like Us, or Chris Brown drops Residuals, or there's just certain songs that kind of are different, and so they may pick up steam later or whatever, but they're still playing it, where you might like a song by Glorilla, but now that Cardi B dropped, nobody's even really talking about Glorilla anymore. And she was like burning up my timeline, and now almost everybody that's posting is posting something off Am I the Drama. So,
shout out to Magnet. That's the one.
Yeah, Magnet.
That's
yeah.
one of them.
I mean, this is a great album, but I'm just saying, I just think it's harder to stick because it's constant. Somebody's dropping like every day. It's new music.
Andy?
In addition to what Yolanda had to say, I just think that there's a lack of authenticity, and I think it's a hustle for a lot of these cats.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they see the bag, and they're like, well, let me rap about this, but is this really authentically you? I think a lot of the times, like the 90s, for example, 90s R&B, not to push judgment on a lot of our artists, but I think they went through a lot of what they sang about, you know what I'm saying, on their records, and we can relate to that.
I mean, I think it's that, but I also think, to your point about it being a hustle, I think that people diminish the importance of artist development. Do you know? Because we know a lot, some of these people were, faking jacks. Isn't that what the elders used to say, and all of these things? But I think they had enough time to live with the story, or, so much of it was strategic and put together that they could fake it well or whatever. But to your other point, a lot of things are just a lick now. Today I'm going to do music. Tomorrow I'm going to do liquor. Oh, next week I'm going to be an artist. And I got mixed media coming out. Like, it's whatever I can jump into that makes me feel good. Not to say that there aren't multidimensional, talented people. I am one of those people. No, I'm just like, I am though. But, so I get that. But I think there's a difference with the hustle mentality of it all. Yolanda?
I also think because the music industry has changed so much, it's harder to make money making music. So you got to sell wigs and eyelashes and hair and body shapers and lip gloss, whatever you could sell to actually make money, because to my knowledge, the record labels now have people signing 360 deals where they want some of all the money that you make off of whatever you do, which before it was never like that. And so if I have to give you 3 gimmicky records to get out of this bad contract I signed, you know, I'll sell windows, whatever I have to do to make money. So I just seem like it's more pressure to floss. Like I think about artists that we knew when we were younger, and people just, they had like Suzuki Jeeps or whatever, but they just were having fun and being themselves. Like the authenticity, to his point, was there. Like Tribe wanted to be different than Kane.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to
NWA,
be their own thing, and now it's not that way. We have auto-tune, now we got an auto-tune, now then we had the syrup, then we had the cups, and it's just like this constant, everybody's the same.
Facts.
Kind of somewhat unrelated, but it's still entertainment. I mean, LeBron James, right? We talked about him yesterday, right?
Bless his heart.
And we talked about the whole Hennessy situation.
You don't drink
we
dark
call that
liquor.
corny, but we call that corny though.
Right.
Like, come on now.
Does LeBron James need to be hustling Hennessy? Like, come on. That was just a fail.
But I'm just saying, like, expand your horizons,
Being
right?
multidimensional.
Yeah, that's my point. Like, why are we going to frown upon being multidimensional?
I mean, well, because sometimes people need to focus. That too.
LeBron
Not
don't need to
everybody.
focus.
LeBron made
He already established himself as a
LeBron
hooper.
is established, so he can do other things. The reason why it was corny for LeBron is you have reached a certain amount of status. You have your own tequila, and you've done all of these other things. We don't believe that you sipping the Hennessy, dog.
Even if you sip in the Hennessy, you don't have to promote the Hennessy. That's just silly.
I mean, I'm not mad. Like, because liquor is liquor. So if you're promoting liquor, you're promoting liquor. But I just feel like to come with if you're gonna do a campaign like that too, right? And you're gonna fake everybody out, make it be something that you actually own the IP of.
But was anybody really faked out?
No, but I mean, well, some people was. You know, he's being sued for $856 because a fan bought tickets to the Cleveland Cavaliers game versus the Lakers, thinking it was going to be the last time he was going to see LeBron James. So he's now suing LeBron.
Shame.
I hope he loses. Like, I'm sorry.
Listen, when we come forward, it's about that time. We have a phone call, and we have, Sherri Shepherd says the girls should not be dating on potential. I agree, Sherri. I agree.
You're riding with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Open enrollment is your opportunity to choose a plan that connects you to Providence's comprehensive healthcare network. Choose a plan that includes Providence and gain access to a dedicated team of highly trained primary care physicians and specialists. From nationally recognized doctors and hospitals, Providence ensures quality care is always within reach. When you choose Providence, you choose after-hours care through our nurse advice line, urgent care, or virtual express care. You choose 24/7 access through the Providence mobile app to message providers, request prescription refills, schedule appointments, check lab results, and more. This open enrollment, prioritize your well-being with the peace of mind that comes from choosing a provider that values excellence and compassionate care. Don't just choose a plan. Choose a plan dedicated to health equity and community engagement. Choose a plan that believes health is a human right. Choose a plan that delivers exceptional care and cares about your community. Choose a plan that offers Providence. Visit chooseprovidence.org to learn more. JP Morgan Chase offers tips for the local business owners in 2025. Small business landscape is ever-changing, and the Los Angeles market is no exception. A startup or legacy business, revisiting your mission statement and recalibrating offerings can renew opportunities for growth and innovations. Programs like Chase for Business Coaching for Impact gives entrepreneurs access to expert guidance, helping you streamline operations, strategize your growth, and navigate complex challenges. Businesses with a clear sense of purpose can navigate any challenge effectively, but also build stronger customer loyalty. Visit chase.com/coaching for impact for more information. This segment is sponsored by JP Morgan Chase.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you, when we fight, we win. The Youth Justice Coalition is challenging America's addiction to incarceration and discrimination. YJC works to dismantle policies leading to mass incarceration, law enforcement violence, and the school-to-prison pipeline. Their approach? Transformative justice, community intervention, free LA high school, legal defense, and system monitoring. YJC promotes safety without relying on prisons. Their goal? Prevent system contact and help people exit the system through direct action, advocacy, and education. Want to get involved or need help? Call 323-235-4243. That's 323-235-4243. Join YJC in creating change. When we fight, we win. KBLA Talk 1580, your voice for justice. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. So I mentioned we have a phone call, and it's about that time. Eric from Carson, welcome in. What's on your mind this evening?
Hey, Jill, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. And Yolanda, how are you?
I'm well. How are you, Eric?
I'm good. I'm usually heavy, and so tonight I want to lighten it up a little bit.
Okay.
Andy opened up the show with a song by Eni Kamoze, Here Comes the Hot Stepper. And that song was out in 1994. I just happened to have been in a restaurant called Chin Chin's in Hollywood back in 1994. And I had an opportunity.
Chin Chin's on Sunset, the original one. It's closed now. I used to go there in high school. Continue.
Yep.
I might have ran into each other.
No.
I haven't been there since then, but I had an opportunity to meet Tevin Campbell back in, that was right around October in 1994, and he was a huge star back then, so that was a really big deal. And so I got a chance to talk to him and somebody he was with, and he actually told me that you can ask me anything you want, all that kind of stuff. But he said that his favorite song had came on, they were playing it, and he said his favorite song was Here Comes the Hot Stepper. So when Andy opened up, I always thought that was a monumental moment for me to meet a huge celebrity like that at that time. And so I consider this show to be similar, your show, you, to be equivalent in the fact that you welcomed me on the show. So when Andy opened up the show with that song, I thought that was interesting. And I want to ask you and Yolanda, what do you call that kind of moment? Is it a conundrum? Like, what would you put on something so peculiar?
You feel like it was your moment of destiny? You feel like it's some type of destiny, it's some type of cosmic butterfly effect that is tying you to the past and the future. It was a preliminary showing of your future where you were calling in to Jill Munroe show on KBLA. Is that what we're saying?
Out of all the songs that he could have opened up with, I don't know how he chooses them or how he came about. I just thought that was interesting. And so, not today.
Yes, it is. That's where he played
Today is Andy's birthday?
Not Andy's birthday. Eni Kamoze's birthday.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Now, see, I just learned something. I didn't know that. That's interesting. Even more interesting. Because I'm a Libra, so I think that's amazing.
Well, Eric, if you was listening to the program, you would have knew that.
I was listening to the program. I don't remember hearing nobody say that.
I said that. All right, Eric. Now, before we wrap you up, because we got two more stories, is there anything you want to add in closing?
I want to hear a comment from Yolanda about this.
I don't believe in rain. I think everything happens for a reason, and that's how you were supposed to feel today. So that's why that happened. You brought the energy.
It's your Libra-ness.
Yeah.
You're balancing the
scales. You tipped your scale. You tipped the scales in your favor because that was something you really wanted. But you didn't know you wanted it.
This call is being recorded.
Oh.
Oh, women.
Okay.
Eric, you locked up on me?
He's an op. Eric's an op. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye, Eric. All right, look. We're not even gonna have no questions.
Yeah, you said you have 2 more things you want to talk about.
All right, listen. So before we get into Sherri Shepherd's dating advice, right, we're just going to circle into this really quick. Drake has taken another L because of Kendrick Lamar. So we know that he was attempting to sue Universal Music Group over Not Like Us, and the case has been tossed. A federal judge ruled the song's accusations were non-actionable opinions. In other words, part of the art, not defamation. And it was dismissed yesterday per TMZ. Drake claimed UMG promoted a false narrative, calling him a pedophile, a PDF. And the court ruled the lyrics equal artistic expression, not factual claims. The judge even said, even accusations of criminal behavior are not actionable if understood in context. They are opinion rather than fact, right? So this was rap beef meets courtroom logic. You can't sue the culture for metaphors. Drake knows that, especially when you fired some of the first shots. Drakey. So the decision reinforces what artists already know. The courtroom doesn't decide bars. The timeline does. It does cause a little dent, once again, in Drake's armor. He should have just stuck with the music, and he would have been fine. You know, losing the battle in the lawsuit, PR double tap. Mwah. All right. Sherri Shepherd.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah, of course.
The only way that Drake, Nicki, and Lil Wayne can get it together is if they do a Young Money tour.
Don't nobody want to see that.
Please. Are you serious? Do you really believe that? That would sell out like in 5 seconds.
It would, but
in 2010, yeah.
In 2026.
I like Nicki. Have you seen Nicki Minaj perform?
I have not. It's not the best. They had some hits. They had some bangers.
On and up. They all have bangers. It's not about the catalog, right?
Drake is a great performer.
Drake, yeah. Wayne,
it depends on which one you're gonna get.
Yeah, and Nicki, is she rolling or not? I don't know. Yeah. Okay, all right.
We could go. Sorry.
Real quick. No. We're fine. We're having a good time here. So Sherri Shepherd basically says she's tired of building men like IKEA furniture, right? She's saying that, young ladies, don't do it. Do not date on potential. She was on the Angie Martinez podcast in real life. And she said at 58, I'm not here to build. I know who I am. I can't help you find yourself. She said that she did that when she was in 20s, 30s, and 40s. But now is no longer the time. Let's hear what she had to say.
Here's a thought that I've had. I've had this conversation with girlfriends recently, especially younger women. You get involved or get in relationships with people, and it's about what they believe this person could become.
Oh, that potential. The
potential.
Ooh, you in love with the potential. You hear me? Potential. All right.
Have you done that?
Yeah, when I was in my 20s and my 30s and my 40s. Yeah.
You're not doing potential?
No, we don't do potential no more. Now because I know. I know who I am. I don't want to waste your time. I don't want you to waste my time.
Potential, though, is not only sometimes about money. Potential is you believe somebody's going to become a better version of themselves. They're going to show.
I ain't got no time for all that.
They're going to do the work.
I don't have time for all that. Because that sounds wonderful. But at this stage where I am, I can't help you build.
Right. And then also if they don't ever become that
And if
version.
you don't build it, again, I'm not looking up in 7 years going, I didn't help this. He been using my car, driving every, I didn't help him. I didn't call. I'm not doing all of that. And it's okay.
We got Zoe Williams in here going up. Maybe he'll mention it on his show. I'm going to just say this, right? This obviously hit a generational nerve. Older women are now publicly rejecting the emotional labor that used to be marketed as loyalty. Hold you down, babe, right? And I feel like it's in the middle of social media commentary a little bit where women are choosing peace over projects. At that age, you can work together with potential when you're building yourself, but when you got a little something, I don't know. Zoe Williams feels differently. I really wish he would have just popped in because I'm dying to hear what he has to say. Maybe he'll touch on it. Listen. Thanks to Yolanda Davidson for tapping in with us. She's at The Biased Opinion on Instagram. Hit me up at Stiletto Jill. Let me know your thoughts. You know, I always appreciate it. Shout out to Los Dodgers. You know what it is. West Coast for Live. Dodgers in the building. Dodger Blue. All right, y'all. Back here tomorrow, 6 p.m. to get into these headlines and trending topics. I got y'all.
White diamonds, 2 a.m. she wildin'. She sick, got they stomach in her comments. What school you went to? Gardena, Compton, Westchester, King, Drew. Did we function? Lil, what that dog gave me, that's on pup. All my kids, I sock you up. Have you ever took a fade and ran 3 more back to back? Oh, you haven't? Then shut the f up and keep it rap. I'm from the land. Don't say you hate LA when you don't travel past the 10. Am I tripping? Yes, I am. Meditate over some money. I see Franklin, I find Van. I'm from the land. Don't say you hate LA, but live in LA and pretend. My neck on Tarantino, Alejandro Spike Lee. Just know you took the scenic route if you stand by me, stupid.
So fly in this 50 on me, don't die trying it. You know I'm up and down when I slide in this. Beamers and the jets outside in this. West side, get the money, yeah, that's for sure. Streets don't love you, better respect the code. Ain't no sleeping in on Sunday. If it's about the money, then my don't go.
When I walk in, low, yeah, break neck. It's unanimous, high pop.
When I walk in, let it get in check. You looking at a bad, nothing less.
Walk, 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 tip-toe, pivot, walk, tip-toe.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Tensions are rising as the partial government shutdown passes 1 week. Reporters saw Republican Mike Lawler and Black Democrat